Welcome back. We are on day 8 of Tina's 12 Days of Christmas Chaos to Calm Challenge. I'm your host, Kelsey, and this is Sophie. And today we're going to be talking all about a self love exercise. I'm sure, as many of you know, with the holidays comes a lot of joy, but also discomfort. And a lot of the time, we are seeing family and friends where there can inadvertently be a lot of judgment. People asking about your life really deeply, trying to see where you're at. And sometimes maybe we're not where we're at, and this can feel a little bit uncomfortable, and we don't really want to share, or people are just kind of blatantly getting into your space and poking at where you're at, even though you're happy with it, and they're making judgments. And sometimes this can really weigh on us. And so the holidays can come with it, this kind of air of, you know, kind of discomfort and how we feel about ourselves or what we absorb from what other people are putting on us. And so we wanted to give a practice where we're able to kind of take a moment to, despite that situation, despite what this might be happening in the holiday events, what can you do to internally feel empowered? And so the goal of this self-love exercise is to create a space for reconnecting with your self-worth and practicing kindness towards yourself. This day is all about shifting your focus inward and letting go of self-criticism and treating yourself with the same compassion and care you'd offer to a close friend. Through intentional exercises, reflection, and gentle rituals, self-love will encourage you to celebrate who you are, acknowledge your strengths, and prioritize your own well being, no matter what outside kind of noise comes into the picture, especially during this chaotic holiday time. So, we're going to do a self compassion journal exercise. If you'd like to grab a pen and paper, we're just going to spend a few minutes, and I would like you to write a list of 5 things you genuinely appreciate about yourself. This can be qualities, this can be achievements, or even how you've handled past or current challenges. And I'm going to put Sophie on the spot here, and I'm going to ask her to share a couple of the qualities that she values about herself. I am also happy to share, just to kind of give you guys some ideas about what you can write down in terms of the love and the kindness that you can share to yourself. So I'll give you just a minute here, Sophie, and I'll thank myself too, and then we can share them. All right. Got a self-love statement you're willing to share with us?
Yes. Well, I haven't quite put it into a statement, but I have a list. So one of the things that I love about myself is my resilience to get through hard times. I know that they're difficult. I allow myself to feel in the moment, but ultimately I find solutions and I work my way through whatever challenge that presents and ultimately come out of it a stronger, better version of myself and find that strength within to somehow get through and not dwell too much for too long. Don't get me wrong, there's some dwelling being done, but naturally I try and move on as quickly as possible rather than get stuck in what happened in the past or what could be in the future. I try and focus on this present in the moment. And the other thing that I really like about myself is my ability to adapt to change. I live a nomadic lifestyle. The only constant that we have in life is change. And I think a lot of people really resist change and don't like change. They get scared of change. And I would say I'm not really one of those people. I actually thrive off of change. And I really like that about myself because it allows me to live in a really authentic way to myself. And I think that that's really important to do.
I love it. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I feel like it's only fair if I share a little, just because I put you on the spot. So I'll share 2 of mine. For me, one of the things that I really value about myself is my self-discipline. I've been told that I'm a little bit of a freak when it comes to self-discipline, more than the average person. I I've had to work very hard for a lot of things in my life, right? A really good example would be I wasn't a great test taker in school, so then I had to account for that by studying really hard. I've, stepped into positions that maybe I wasn't initially fully prepared for, and so I really had to like step up and be disciplined in how I was, practicing and showing up. Um, and this morning, I was just thinking about I've been traveling for a long time. I was really excited to get home because I wanted to get into a routine. And so I woke up and I slipped right back into the routine that I had. And I walked a mile and a half, and then I did my weightlifting, and I had breakfast, and here I am. So yeah, I really appreciate that quality about myself, because even if I don't know how to do something, I know I have the discipline to like show up and learn and practice. And my other thing, which I think kind of plays really into what we're talking about here, is I am one of the things is that I want to remind myself, I want to give myself permission. This isn't so much something I value, but I want to give a little kindness to myself. Is that the holidays are a little bit hard for me, having both of my parents passed. My mom passed last year. So it's just a reminder that, like, it's okay if I'm having really big, uncomfortable, sad, not so cheery feelings during the holiday. And I just want to give myself permission to feel those things and still then be able to go and enjoy an event. But it doesn't have to be one or the other, that I can enjoy both. So giving myself a little love and permission and to have that and to give myself grace with that. So yeah, so those are my two.
Thank you for
What was
sharing.
that? Yeah,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
sharing.
So yeah. So with that, guys, what I would like you to do now that you have your list of five is I want you to go to a mirror and I want you to read out your list to yourself, to reflect on these aspects and to take how being nice to yourself really makes you feel. In this situation, Sophie and I exchange with one another, which there's actually a lot of power in that and being able to verbally share with people in your environment, in your community. And if you do have a friend, a partner, a family member that you feel comfortable doing with that, it kind of makes it more powerful when you do it. But if you're not at that place, you're not comfortable doing that, then definitely go to the mirror and start with yourself and share that with yourself and give yourself that kindness and that love. So repeat the same exercise tomorrow. With new things that you want to give love and kindness about yourself, or it can be five different things, and see how this improves your self-worth and confidence over time. But as you can see, this took less than 5 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy this practice today. If you would like a little bit more guidance and direction on how to do this, please remember you can go and sign up on our mailing list to get the full instructions with the Chaos to Calm Challenge workbook. We have today's exercise in it, as well as the previous days and the days to come, and you get a little bit more direction and some bonus material in there. So be sure to go over and check that out. Thank you for coming, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.